Hey, I want to talk to you about creativity. If you've been following me for a while and you know my work, you'll know that it's a massive thing for me, creativity. It is my thing, it's who I am. But I noticed something recently. I noticed that I'd been kind of hiding, kind of playing it down. It's interesting because I've spent the last week at a Buddhist meditation centre. You can see it in the background, I think, there. And I've been going to lots of the classes, lots of the meditations, and I've had a lot of time to reflect and to think, and some thoughts bubbled up to the surface just yesterday, actually. And it kind of hit me like a wall or something. And I realised why I had an issue with my creativity and why I was playing small. In my work as a coach, I began very much using the title of health coach. But over time, I found myself sort of focusing on sort of the mindset and the life coaching, and trying to sort of almost push away the food side of it. And I realised it was because I am, in my world and my sort of circles, my networks, you know, the arena where I kind of show up. My sort of friends and colleagues who are, say, nutritionalists, for example, they deal with sort of the science of food in a way that I don't. I deal very much with creativity and overcoming overwhelm, exploring what, you know, your very best self, how that might be accessed through food, through, you know, creativity. It extends way beyond food. Food is just a gateway for me. But I realised that I didn't see that as valuable. I wasn't perceiving that as being as good as those nutritionalists who I judge myself against. And I think this is for one big reason. In our society, and it comes right from our school days and it continues right into adulthood, we see the academic subjects, you know, academia is seen as more than the arts. I remember this when I was at school because I was very academic. I got really good grades. I think I got the highest GCSEs in my school. But I went on to study art, and I can remember the disappointment on my head teacher's face when he handed me my GCSE and my A-level grades, to see that I wouldn't be using my talents and, you know, making use of my intelligence. And I think that stayed with me. And then I went on to do an architectural degree, you know, kind of merging creativity and science, and, you know, to go into an industry that was valid, you know, had to be seen as doing something worthy. And it's only in the last few years, as I've been exploring who I really am and how I really, really want to show up and help people and express myself, I've been battling with this sense of good enoughness, particularly when it comes to those around me who have, you know, more of an academic take on their work. And I thought, wow, you know, this creativity that means so much to me, I'm playing small, big time. And interestingly, I know when I first went vegan, which was about 6.5 years ago, that sort of creative space, that creativity just skyrocketed. I mean, I've always had that mindset, but the space and energy and, you know, my mind just opened up. And over the last couple of years, I'm still 100% vegan, but I'm, you know, my diet, for want of a better word, my diet's not as clean as it used to be. You know, I eat bread quite a lot more now. At one point, I didn't eat any gluten. I eat vegan junk foods creep in now. And, you know, once upon a time, I didn't eat any junk foods. I didn't have any refined sugars, and I felt absolutely incredible, you know, mind and body. And I want to get back to that space because I owe it to myself. You know, that's my power, you know, bridging that kind of territory between food and creativity, and actually tapping into our innate sense of self, you know, that creativity that we all have, that we deny so often. And I think this is because of society's expectations and the way that we've been brought up through school to see creativity as not, you know, as invalid, as not something we should be indulging ourselves in, not something that's worthy of our time and attention. And I want to change all that, and it starts with me, and I'd love to bring you along for the ride. This is not so much a January New Year, New You health kick thing, but I want to cut out the refined sugars because it dulls me down. It dulls my mind. And, I've been feeling kind of a little bit meh from time to time. And, I show up authentically to you, but there's times when I've just felt a bit, just that lack of clarity. And I'm bringing that back. So, and this video in itself is something I don't often record videos, but I felt called to. I wanted to share where I was at in the moment because these thoughts only came to me yesterday. And they feel really important for me right now. And I was going to say they feel important for you, but I know there'll be some of you out there who are like, yeah, I want to tap into my creativity. I can feel it, but I'm not allowing it. And I'd love to support you in doing that. It doesn't have to relate to food, but I know there's massive, massive potential in making dietary tweaks. But we'd have to do that. I just would love to support you. I would love to have a conversation around how we can work together in unleashing your innate creativity, because it's so, so important to living your very best life. Yeah. So, if any of this resonates with you, my little ramble as I'm crossing the fields behind Majimaka Meditation Centre, and the sun's going down now, so the video quality is going to start getting grainy because of the lights dropping. Anyway, sending much love to you, and please do reach out to me if this resonates with you. Let's just have a conversation and see where it goes. Much love.